If you're like me and you're always looking for good value, if you use online form generators, this software might be for you. So before I get into the actual details of what you can do with Aida Forms, I kind of wanted to show you differences between Aida Forms and something like Google Forms or Typeform, or even stuff like Formstack. As you can probably see, you know, they're all form makers, so they allow you to create forms that you can embed on your website, or links that you can generate to send to your clients, or things like that. So they're usually very useful in collecting data or just collecting information in a manageable way. You can create quizzes, you can create just a whole bunch of different elements. So the cool thing about Aida Forms, or at least at the moment, it's that it's very affordable. If you compare the pricing here, which is, I would probably recommend the light version, you can get a lot with it. So you can get unlimited responses, you get unlimited forms and surveys, you can get an Instagram profile page that who cares about, you get Google Docs integration and custom thank you page. So for just $7.50 a month, you can actually get a lot out of it. That's if you pay with a yearly plan. If you pay the monthly plan, it's a little bit more expensive. It's $9 a month. Now, if you wanted to go up a little bit higher, you're looking at $19 a month, and that gives you everything that you have here, and that includes also PayPal payments, logic jumps. You can upload files. You can have a real-time dashboard where you can see the polls and the surveys as they come in. You can calculate quizzes. You can have hidden fields, custom domains, and Stripe integration. So that's for $19. Now coming soon, so coming at the end of the month after this video, you're going to be able to have video questions, video and audio answers, responding email notifications, and in the pro version you're going to have Google Tag Manager and Facebook integration, which is super cool, and MailChimp integration, which is great. And obviously for those of you that are more advanced, you also have Zapier integration. So all of that is coming very soon, and it's only $19 a month. So if you need something a little bit more advanced than the light, the pro is only going to set you back $19. Now if you compare it to something like Formstack, if you look at the pricing here, you'll see that to get something comparable, you're probably looking at the $59 a month version. All right, so custom branding if you want to have your own domain. Let's see what else we got here. Profit discount, you can't even get anything out of that. One user, you only get 500 megabytes of storage here. For the silver, you get a gig, and then you can only have 20 forms. You can only have 5 forms, and then in Aida, you get unlimited forms, unlimited responses. I mean, it's a much better deal when you look at it that way. And then Typeform, you're looking at only 5,000 responses a month, and that's $35 for the professional version. And let me see something here. Let's show the monthly price is $50. So, which is kind of crazy. If you're looking at the Essentials version, it's $35. Also, again, a lot more money. Now, I guess the titan in this industry, it's Google Forms, because Google Forms is free. So you get a nice little benefit that you can create Google Forms without having to pay a dime, which is really nice. However, Google Forms, for the most part, does not allow you to upload files unless you have a Google account. You don't have custom domains. There's a whole bunch of different little caveats and restrictions that Aida Forms gives you right off the bat for only $19. So just wanted to kind of talk about that, because at the end of the day, it's a value proposition thing here. You get most of the same features, although I think Aida does some things a little bit nicer than some of the other ones. And you also get a lot of what you pay for what you pay for. One more other thing that Google Forms doesn't do that this does pretty cool is that it allows you to have people sign the forms, which is also really cool. So let's jump into it. So we're going to be looking at our first form. The first thing I wanted to do is just kind of walk you through all the different features that you can find in Aida. I'm going to go through them really quickly because it's going to take a long time. So I'm going to try to just go through it real quick, just to show you what you can do with Aida Forms. And then I'm going to just do a quick example to see how easy it is to create a form. I'm not paid by Aida Forms. I just think that it's such a good product and it's so affordable that it's crazy that not a lot of people know about it. So let's just call this a test form for now. So this is how you create a form. And then they give you the options to choose templates. I'm just going to just browse through real quick so you can see them. But as you can see, you know, if you don't want to start from scratch, you can use different templates that they have available, like a basic job application, a contact inquiry form, a form with CAPTCHA already built in. They have a feedback form for customer satisfaction. I mean, they have a lot of options that you can quickly just get started using the forms. Okay, so that's, again, really quickly, I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like. And let's jump back into creating a form from scratch, because we just want to show you, again, the purpose of this video right now at this moment is to show you everything you can do, all the options that are available to you as of today. So on the right hand side, you have the form designer. You're able to choose a different theme. So you can select from all the available themes here on the right hand side. For the most part, they all look really nice, and they did a good job with the color selections. I do wish that they had the ability to create your own custom theme. I don't see anywhere on this website that allows me to do that, so that's a negative for AIDA. So if you wanted to style this a certain way, you're currently not allowed. You can select whether you want the footer on or off. Again, the footer is always going to be this rounded shape at the bottom of the page, and then whether you want icons or no icons, and I'll show you what that means in a little bit. You can select what you want the forms to look like, so whether you want them like a pill, whether you want them hand drawn, those are pretty cool, whether you want them small, whether you want them large or medium. And then you can select from any and all Google fonts that are available. I'm going to just select Roboto as my font for this form. All right, so these are the options that you can set for your form. And then, by the way, you can also set the form to be conversational. And what that means is that you would only answer one form field, one form question at a time, and you hit next, and then it gives you the next one. So if you wanted to build a conversational form, there's the ability to do that. Okay, and you set that in the settings. All right, so let me just show you real quick the setup area here on the Aida Form. So you can change the name, you can put the language, and what you want to happen when somebody submits the form. So you can display the default thank you page. You can go to a specific page within forms, or you can redirect the user to a URL. All right, so you can send them to your website if you want to track whether somebody filled out the form or not. That's one way to do it. So if you had Google Analytics set up or Google Tag Manager, this is how you would do it. Now there's SEO forms here. For the most part, I don't touch this because usually my forms that I create are hidden from everybody, because they're more to like obtain credit card information or a sale, or if I wanted to generate you know, like a job, like if I was taking jobs from a specific client, if it gets funneled through Aida Forms. You can set how or who gets the email notifications, and then different traits of the form. So here's where you can set whether you want it to be conversational or not. You can hide the go back button. You can have autofocus happen. You can have auto scroll. And then cool thing too is that it has these integrations already built in. So you have Google Sheets already automatically built in, which you can sync the information with Google Sheets. And then at the end, it gives you the publishing options. I'll show you that once we create our form. All right, so we're going back to the form elements. Again, I'm going to go pretty quickly. I think everybody knows what a header and a subheader is, but let me just show you kind of the options that you do have. You have a drag and drop option. You can, you know, align it to left, center, or right, and that's about all the options you get. You can use this specific arrows to move the element up or down. Here you can trash that specific element, or you can clone it. So I'm gonna just put a test header here just for illustration purposes, and here's what it looks like. And then you have a text area where you can write text describing what the form is supposed to be for. So this form is just a test. As you can see, you have different styling options like bold, italics, underline. You have ability to add bullets. You add a quote, links. So you have a lot of options when it comes to styling your text, so it doesn't leave you high and dry. Now, like I said, it would be nice if I had more control over what the form looks like in general, but you know, maybe that's something that they could add down the road. For the price though, I can get away with what they're currently giving me. All right, so a media file is just if you wanted to add some kind of an image, or you can even create a video, add a video up there. So let me just put video, and then you can add a video right to the top. And again, you can move it up and down by using the little arrows. we can talk about the page breaker logic real quick. So the page breaker logic, what it allows you to do is, depending on what somebody fills out, it will go to a specific page that you designate. So if somebody filled out, let's say, a multiple choice option, and it selected the first option, you can skip page 2 and go directly to page 3. So you're able to do that through this functionality here. So again, it has a pretty advanced logic jumps and page break functionality, and you can add more than one as well. So that's pretty cool. I also like that they give you the guide links right in the area where you're gonna need it. So if you're ever in doubt, you can always jump into the user guide from here. I'm going to delete this one because it takes up a lot of space. I'm also going to delete the media file as well. All right, so then they give you some preset options. So this one just makes your life easier when you're filling out a form. So you have somebody's first name and last name, email, phone number. It'll automatically check to make sure those things are the right kind of data you're looking for. So this will check to make sure that it has an @ symbol in it. And then here on the right hand side, you can set different settings for this specific field by just clicking the little cog wheel. So you have whether it's required, show a description, what is the placeholder that shows up here, and what kind of icons. Now this is another limitation that I found with Aida forms, is that they don't give you a lot of icons. I mean, some of them, the ones that they do give you, are pretty good, but I wish they gave you more than 20. I think they have like 20, and that's about it. It would be really nice if they offer you a few hundred options, just to kind of give you more options, or if they allow you the ability to upload your own. I'm not entirely sure why they don't. So let's now show you what the address looks like. Again, a real quick way to give somebody visiting the form, really quick way for you to be able to build a form by just dragging and dropping. And here, let's say you don't have a second line, you can just remove that. And it's pretty easy and straightforward. All right, for questions you're gonna have, let's say you wanted to build a name that's just like a full name, you could do that as well. So you just use the short text option, and here you will write full name, and then you can just modify the icon to be the little user icon, and boom, you already have the same exact field as you did before, but instead of breaking out the name into 2 different fields, you have one. If you wanted more of a memo field, so a long text field, you have this option. Another cool little feature that they have, Aida has, is that it allows somebody filling out a long text field to just speak the answer. So I found that to be pretty cool. So if you hit preview here to see what the form looks like so far, you'll see the little icon here. So if you wanted to, you can just click on it, fill up the information as somebody talks. So that's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen that somewhere else being used. So I think I'm sure that they'll probably add it to a few more other fields later on, but that's really cool. You also have multiple choice, which obviously you know what that is. Again, you can click here to see the settings. So you have allow multiple answers. If you want to go from a radio button to checkboxes, you can show the options are titles. You can let somebody else choose another option. And you can add different views. If you only wanted one here, you can do it like that. Very easy. And to add more options, you just press enter and put here potato. All right, a potato cookie. I never heard of potato cookie, but there you have it. All right, then you also have this other cool feature, which is a multiple choice made with images. Again, this is actually pretty cool. I've never thought about doing something like this with a form, but it's a neat feature that you can add for the specific when you're building a form. I think it's actually really cool. So again, you can have one column if you wanted to make big images, or 2 columns, 3, and then the images can have descriptions or no descriptions, and you can allow somebody to select more than one answer. Again, pretty cool. And for this one, I will probably choose more like an image option. All right, you also have a drop down, which again, self-explanatory. And let's just look at the options real quick for those interested. I'm a little bit on the way. Let me move myself out of the way here. You can see that you can type in whatever you want the placeholder to be, and the different options here on the right. So sorry if my face covered the icons when I spoke originally, but I'm just trying to get through this ones real quick. All right, so hidden fields allow you to do really cool stuff in forms. So it allows you to build queries. So you can build the whole parameter here. I'm not going to go into detail about this. This is a little more random. But here's also where you can set some really interesting logical jumps, etc., etc. Here's the date field, so you can create, allow people to fill out a date by choosing from a calendar. That's very handy. I like that. And then you have a number field if you wanted to limit somebody's answer to only be numerical. And again, you don't have to have this icon. You can change that icon to whatever you want. You can check for a website URL. You have file uploads. So let me go into detail about file uploads, because I'm sure that one you would like to see a little more information on. So you can allow more than one file or not. And you can limit the file size to 30 pixels, 30 megabytes or 10 megabytes. I mean, the choice is yours. And again, you can change the icon. We're not gonna make that required. All right, you have a CAPTCHA. I'm not gonna go over that. And then you have a signature. I use this a lot, specifically for things that I need my clients to sign on something. And this is a great feature. This is the one that Google, this two right here are the reason why you would pay for a service like this, because Google Forms does not give you this feature. So although Google Forms allows you to upload files, but you need to have a Google account to do so. So that's very limiting. AIDA, you can just upload it right on the form. And then for the signature, Google Forms doesn't currently support that. So this is a great way to actually have a physical or visual signature of somebody. So that's really useful and really cool. Now they have this one here. I'm gonna skip cart because we're gonna go over here when we go into payment. But they have this one for landing pages called cards. I'm assuming that they're adding some landing page features moving forward. This is something that I hadn't seen before, but I don't really see the use for it when it comes to generating form. But maybe if you wanted to add some kind of a grid like this, grid system like that, it would be useful. I don't really see the point of it right now. Let me delete that. All right, and then if you're creating surveys, you can have a rating scale, so the user can select different start ratings. There is a scale, so they can select whether something's average, excellent, and then here's how you can add the different options. So if you wanted to add a 6th option, you could. You have your matrices like this, and you can add the columns through the field types, and then you can add the rows like this. And then you have your slider. This one's actually pretty cute. They did a great job with this. So if you select less, it turns into a sad face. If you select positive, it turns into a happy face. And it's cool that they also give you different kinds of emojis and different icons that you can use. You can use a star that grows and that gets bigger as it gets a bigger percentage. Or if you have a heart, the heart will fill in as it gets greater. So that's a cool feature. You can also hide the plus or minus. The percentage points. I don't see why you would do that, but there is that option. If you're building quizzes and tests, you can calculate the score using this field. I'm not going to show you that because there's not much to show there. Here you can do questions and how much those questions are worth. So if you needed to do a quiz, you can do it like this. And here you can show what the total score is based on what field, how much they filled up around up here. So if you build quizzes, this is an easy way to do it. I've never built quizzes using a form generator, but they do give you that ability. And then the last 4 that we're going to talk about real quick is the checkboxes. So you have your terms and conditions. So I use this quite a bit. So especially when I'm getting a signature, I like to, make sure that they agree to the terms and conditions. So let's say you're billing a client on a monthly basis. You need to have a credit card authorization form that they have to fill out to kind of authorize you to bill them automatically every month. So I use this AIDA form specifically for that. I get them to agree to the terms and conditions, and these are the settings that you have here for that option. So I use show terms in a pop-up window, and then you can edit the terms in this field here. Again, I'll show you when I'm gonna, after I show you all the elements, I'm gonna actually create a form that includes just some of the key elements that I like to use, so you can kind of see how easy it is to build a form from scratch with AIDA. So you have that, and then you have a newsletter sign up that somebody that's filling out your form can agree to be added to the newsletter or not, and that could be checked on by default or not. And then finally, these two work the same. Is just selects what payment processor do you want to use for your form. So let's just pick PayPal here as an option, and this functionality is exactly the same for order card, all right, but this one has PayPal or Stripe tied to it. So from the settings that you have for accepting credit cards is you can select the currency, you can show the description or not, you can choose whether it's a fixed amount, so if it's $50, it's $50. You can choose a custom amount, so somebody can type in here $100 when they're filling out the form, all right? Or they can select from a list of products, and this one's pretty cool. So you can select more than one product, so if like one or two, or if you can only select from one of the products that are available. All right. You also have whether you want them to select more than one ticket, for example. You can select whether you want that off or on, and then you can choose how much each ticket is costs. So a 2-day ticket is $1. I'm sorry, a 1-day ticket is $1, a 2-day ticket is $2, and if you get the combo, it's $2.50. All right. Now let's go back to this setting real quick. I also wanted to show you the PayPal stuff. So you can add more than one product just by clicking on this, and you can then obviously select the icon. All right. Now let's go back up. You would type in your PayPal information here, and that's all it really takes. If you're using Stripe, you just have to log into Stripe to connect to AIDA. All right, and that's it. Those are all the form fields that I wanted to show you. Kind of quick look at what you can do. Hopefully this gives you a better understanding of what AIDA allows you to do with each individual field. So let me just take you real quick, and I'm going to create a form from scratch. So I want to create this a job ticket. All right, I'm going to start from scratch. So basically the idea or the concept for this form is that one of my clients wants to email me about a change to the website or a digital marketing request. They can just fill out the form. This form automatically emails me the request, and I can get to work. So instead of it being done through an email, this is something that I can actually track, and it has the client's signature attached to it. So I'm going to create the header. I'm going to call it job ticket, and then I'm going to give it a quick description. Please fill out the form below to generate a ticket. Be as detailed as possible. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so now I have my header, I have my text, and now I need the fields that I need the client to fill out. So I'm going to want them to add the company name, so that's the first and most important thing. So here I'm going to put company name. I'm going to make this field required. I don't think I need to show the description. And then here I'm going to leave it the way it is. That's fine. I don't like the pencil for the company name, so I'm just going to choose this checkbox. All right, next thing I want to know who's filling out the form. So who from the company is filling out the form. I think this looks great. I don't think I need to change anything. Do I need the email? I don't think I need the email, so I'm going to leave that alone. So I want them to describe what the job is about. So job title. So the reason that I want the job title is that I want to know, is this a contact form change? What is this? What is the basic what is the specific thing that they want us to do? And then we can go into the details a little bit later down the form. So what is the job title? I'm going to change this to a blank document, and then I want the detailed information here below. Please describe the job in detail. All right, I don't think I need the description, and I don't think I need the description here either. All right. Next, I'm gonna want to know when the job is due, or when the client would like for the job to be done. So desired due date. I think everything else is good. I will require that. Actually, do I require this? Let's not make it required, in case the client is not in a hurry for it. Why make it required? And then lastly, I have the date, I have the description, I have the title, I have the name of the company. So I think the only thing I need left is that some kind of terms that says that by filling out this form, you agree that you will be billed for this job. So by filling out this form, you agree that you will be billed the credit card on file for this job. Hit save. And then finally, I want them to sign the form with a visual signature. Your signature, that's it. And that's required. This is required. No, this is not required. But it is required. Obviously, it's a checkbox. All right, so let's preview the form. It took me probably 2 minutes to do this form. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to publish it just to show you what it looks like when somebody fills it out. So when I go to the publish section, I'm going to hit on. And then I'm going to copy the link and I'm going to fill it out. All right, so here's, so my company is Hugo Test. My name is Hugo Makes. Job title is Hugo Title. And then please fill this out as best as you can. I think all right. So I think this should be due tomorrow, because obviously everything is always as soon as possible. Here's what the terms and condition page looks like, pop-up looks like. I'm going to agree to that. And then I am going to submit this after my signature is done. That's it. You get a beautiful thank you page, really nicely done. And then if we now go back to the results area, you're going to see in the response inbox the submission. All right, so we're going to click on that and it's going to show us the response in detailed form. We can choose to print it or we can choose to download it as a PDF. So again, that's great. It gives me everything I need is all in one place that I can easily go into and look at all of the different client requests. I can take this and import into Google Sheets, or if I wanted to, let's say I'm collecting just general data in general, I can go into the response inbox. I select this checkbox and then I can export everything as a PDF or a CSV or an Excel that I can use in my email marketing, or I can use in anything I decide to do in the future. You know, assuming that this was something that was email marketing related, of course. And that's it. That's Aida Forms. I hope that the video was informational. I hope it showed you everything that you can do with Aida Forms. And I hope it showed you kind of the value that you get when you compare it to things like Formstack or Typeform, and how it does a lot more than what Google Forms lets you do, just for a tiny bit of a price difference. So I know I've sung the praises of the software. I use it a lot. I'm very happy with it. I like that it's fast. I like that it gives you a lot of options. It's pretty powerful, and they're always adding to it and developing it and making it better. So I like when software companies do that. Since they just started, they're so far behind everywhere else in terms of additional features. But I like that they're, you know, quickly getting there, and I like that the price, it's just kind of amazing. So if you like the video, don't forget to leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.